Babu.
Kamalji, good afternoon.
Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So Vietnam ro representative se bhi join korchundi. She will join in sometime.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Das, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Mr. Soub is there. Good afternoon. Hello, Katie ma'am. Good afternoon. Welcome you.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much to joining with us, ma'am.
Hi, Miss Kate. Good evening.
Katie ma'am, how is the situation regarding COVID in Vietnam?
Yes.
The situation. And what is the situation there? Everything's all right?
So Kate, what
Katie,
Mr. Kamal is asking is how is the COVID situation in Vietnam? Like everything is free, no lockdown?
Yeah, so everything is here is okay. However, yeah, the demand in the Vietnam so have it's high now. So maybe we will be the decrease in here.
Yeah. So Mr. Kamal, the Vietnamese people, they celebrate, they observe their New Year. So that is called Tet New Year, that is Lunar New Year. So that is coming up in January 22nd. So now is the festive season for them. So more holidays, more people going on leave. So Miss Kate is also going to go, but I requested her to join this meeting, and thank you, Miss Kate. So yeah, so the situation is quite normal now. I could see the visa requirement also has eased off. Now they've introduced the e-visa, so I could see that. Yep.
Anand sir, good afternoon.
गुड आफ्टरनून। मेरी आवाज आ रही है क्या?
हाँ, आवाज आ रही है सर, परफेक्ट आ रही है सर।
ओके।
Sir, Mr. Sub is there from the Australia, Ms. Katie is there from the Vietnam, and Mr. Das from the All India, All Odisha Millers Association of Odisha President is there. Sir, Mr. Das is there, and Dr. Anand Mishra sir is additional DGFT, Deputy DGFT to Calcutta DGFT office, and he is looking after the Odisha for the export promotion from the DGFT side.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Sir, by 3:10 we will start, sir.
No issues.
Miss Kate, we are in 2019 before COVID. Me and Mr. Su was in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. It's a wonderful place. Panikar sir, good afternoon. Namaskar.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Kamalji, we can speak at a low speed, not fast, so that Miss Kate can understand. You are on mute.
Miss Kate, me and Mr. Sub was in 2019 at Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh. So we had a very good, wonderful time over there. We enjoyed. We have some few delegation were there. We have meeting people. Very nice place there. And this year also we are coming with this Rice Miller Association to there also. So we are planning on that. So let me see the COVID situation is there in India.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You will be there in May or June?
Yes, maybe June.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Miss Kate. She has 2 business trips coming up. One to Germany, and I think second is to Malaysia. So maybe she will be there. But she was telling me a few business trips of her are coming up.
Okay. Great. By 3:10, Mr. So by 3:10 will start. Okay, then people will be coming and joining. Because yeah, Anand sir will be go somewhere else, so it will not take much of time. Mm. Anand sir, should you start? Anand sir, should I start?
हाँ आप स्टार्ट कीजिए.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, friends. Behalf of Federation of Indian Export Organizations and set up by the please stay mute कर दे please. Good afternoon. Myself is Kamal Sahu from the Federation of Indian Export Organizations set up by the Ministry of Government of India. Behalf of FIEO, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Ministry of MSME, Government of India, OCF, Government of Odisha, I welcome all of you. And today's topic is regarding the district as a export hub. And this time we are focusing to the Mayurbhanj. It's a one districts in Odisha. So, and the potential product is we are discussing about that rice and honey. And as you know that Government of India is very much serious about the promotion of export from the not only from the Odisha state but also every parts of the country. And they are Government of India realized that they are not focusing for the tier 1 cities, but they are focusing for the district levels. So the export from the district is a giving more importance to the districts able to promote the export. And on these topics today we have with us our Dr. Anand Mohan Mishra, who is the Indian Trade Service from the Indian Trade Service from the additional from the Deputy DGFT, Additional DGFT Office, Kolkata. And I welcome you, sir, this webinar, sir. Thank you very much for your time, sir. And also today we have Mr. Sup from the Australia, and he is also focusing for the importance of rice or export of rice to Vietnam or to Vietnam and Australia. And also today we have with us Miss Kate Huen from the import and export consultant from the Vietnam. Today she has joined, and I welcome you, ma'am, to this forum. And also today we have with us Mr. S.N. Panigrahi, our regular faculty in EXIM. He is a expert consultant, EXIM and JED consultant. And also with us, we have with us Mr. Singh from GMDIC, Mayurbhanj, and Mr. S.N. Naik, Assistant Director of MSME DFO, and also Mr. Rohit Kanungo and Mr. Mr. P.K. Mahanti from DPM. DPM, all these faculties are there, and our time period is from 3 p.m. to before 5. We have to wind up and all. And if you have any doubts and all, you can directly ask to them. But after the presentation and all, and I will not take much more of time, and I request Anand sir to address us, and he may, if you want, he can join. Otherwise, he may let. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Oh,
Thank
please
you,
switch off.
Kamalji. Thank you, Kamalji. And it's a wonderful gathering, and it's my pleasure to attend this session. And also, there is I would like to wish good afternoon to each and every participant present in the meeting. And I will talk about in very brief about what is one district, one product, or district as export hub scheme. So the whole idea started with vision of Prime Minister, where he thought that each, because our district, there are so many districts around, more than 500 districts in our country, and each district has some uniqueness, and this uniqueness can be explored to project these districts as export hub. So depending upon various districts and our diversity, the idea is to identify a product from that district which has significant export potential. For example, in this case, Mayurbhanj has identified rice as an export product. And the selection of the product is basically consensus based. So there is engagement of central government, there is engagement of exporters, importers, as well as state administration and district administration. Based on all these considerations, the export product have been identified. For example, in this case, rice from Mayurbhanj. There have been created an institutional framework, District Export Hub Committee, where the DC is the chairman and DGFT is the co-chairman and GMDIC is the convener, and all the export related agencies like EPCs, Export Promotion Councils, if there is an RBI center there, or banks, exporters, importers, manufacturers, they all are part of this cooperative organization where decisions will be taken. What actions can be initiated which will take our export to a higher level. So all districts of Odisha right now have a district as all districts have a district export promotion committee. Even Mayurbhanj has that district export promotion committee, and all exporters and importers of Mayurbhanj are actually part of it. So whenever a meeting happens, you all can participate and give your suggestion what can be done to improve exports from Mayurbhanj. So that is the basic institutional structure. So the thought process has emanated from the center, but the idea is that the decision should be taken at grassroots level like districts so that exports can be promoted. So that was all about, in nutshell, about district as export hub scheme. Now coming back to other things. So the whole idea is that these kind of activities, even these kind of workshops which we are having right now, the idea is to have an interactive session where exporters can express their problems, get the help from the government, whether it's state or center, and have a collaborative approach which will help our exporters and which will help our exporting community in general. So that's all from my side. And thank you again, Kamalji, for inviting me. And if you have any problem related to export or related to DGFT, you can always come back to me, mail me, and I would be happy to respond. Thank you, Kamalji.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'm sorry I'm sorry to mention the name of Mr. Das from the Secretary of All Odisha Rice Miller Association. Odisha is a very prominent person, but I sorry I have that missed the name. And also he is also a speaker to today's forum. And I'll just call it. Before that, I'll request Mr. Soup to give their presentation regarding the rice export for Australia and Vietnam. Mr. Soup, Director, Macons, Australia. Over to you, Mr. Soup.
Yeah, Kamalji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to
Yeah.
Yes,
So
you
a
want a
big
screen sharing? You want a
yeah,
screen
I'll share
sharing?
my screen. I'm just share my screen. So a very good afternoon, good evening to a very big good afternoon, good evening to Kamalji, Mr. Das from the Rice Association of Orissa, Mr. S.N. Paningrai, and our guest, Mr. Mishra. So this is Suv. I'm right now speaking from Australia, and I have been involved in the international trade and exports of goods, agricultural products, and technology from Odisha to outside and from foreign countries to Odisha. I've tried my best. So I've been associated with FIEO and Kamalji since many years, and I've tried my best to share my knowledge and also help all these budding entrepreneurs and the exporters from Odisha outside. Before going to the presentation, I would like to congratulate the Ministry of Commerce, Government of India, Mr. Mishra and Mr. Kamalji. Why? Because this one district, one product, I have been following this model since last 3 years. Especially the model has been such success in Uttar Pradesh, the north state of India, and their exports of stones, of emeralds, of lot of products from each district has gone manifold of special quality of rice. So I have gone through a detailed analysis of their products, especially Uttar Pradesh. So I'm really wishing that we can make that effort and replicate it in Orissa. So I'll quickly start the presentation. I'll share my screen. Give me a minute. Kamalji, can you allow me to share the screen? The host has disabled it.
Just a minute. Mr. Om, can you give the permission to Mr. Suv Macons?
Maconsas, the name should be.
Is it okay? Mr. Suv,
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
okay?
yeah. It is okay now. I can share my screen. Just a second. Okay. Kamalji, you can see my screen, right? Kamalji, you can see my screen now?
Yes, yes. It's clearly visible.
Okay. So clearly visible. So the heading is rice export from Odisha, India to outside. So is that page visible?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Suv.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm currently based in Australia, but we do business in Australia, Vietnam, and especially things related to Odisha and India. So these are my contact details. And today, because of the one district, one product, we are focusing on rice. I made this presentation very short, but to the point. So whatever I have seen in the international market, I just want to share that data with the organizations who are promoting rice, who are manufacturing rice, and who are importing or exporting rice in Odisha, especially from Mayurbhanj. So what we are focusing today is how could the products from Orissa be exported outside, especially to Australia and Vietnam, because those are the two countries that I am focusing on. Other countries are also in the radar, but these two countries I'm confident they are growing now. Australia is a developed country, but the market potential is huge. Vietnam is a developing country like India. So for the next 10 years, three countries, India, Vietnam, and Australia, will have booming trade. Their growth will be so much. Their industrialization, their agro products, their technology, everything will be booming. Their economy will go to scale, and based on that, the Australia and India free trade agreement has also been signed in the last few months. So coming to this slide, we are focusing on Mayurbhanj. Mayurbhanj is situated in the north, almost the north part of Orissa. So I have a lot of friends who are from Karanjia and others, so I know about this place right from my engineering days. So what are we focusing here? So in Odisha, what happens? Rice gets manufactured in Mayurvanj, it comes to the depot, it comes to the shipping port, then it goes to different countries. Right now, this model shows who is involved in what. Maconsos is involved in connecting the buyers and suppliers. So anything from Orissa can be exported to Vietnam, Australia, any country in Southeast Asia or other countries. So we can help all these exporters do that with the rules of the government, with getting the license and everything. Because we are outside and our agents are outside. Inside Orissa, the government, FIO, Kamalji and other people can help. So they are involved in this. And especially speaking of the kinds of rice that is in demand outside, I have simply mentioned it as basmati rice, which is in heavy demand outside, especially from India. Parboiled rice, lot of people who are suffering from diabetes and health conscious, and they want the rice to be digested easily, they are going for parboiled. Brown rice is a rice which has grown a lot in scale because of health and enthusiast. Organic rice is something which a lot of people are moving forward to. Now there is a fine difference between what is brown rice which is grown in the field and organic rice. Organic rice is not using any pesticides, not using any chemicals. It's a difficult process considering the environment right now, but still organic rice are costly and still there is demand of organic rice. And there are other rices like red rice, black rice and all. So this is our agenda of our meeting today from Maconsus. I'll go to the next slide. So what are we talking about here? We want problems to get solved because there are budding entrepreneurs and exporters from Orissa who want to do business outside, but somewhere some roadblocks are there. What is the roadblock? Export of Odisha rice to Australia and Vietnam. Till now, the focus has been all over India or all over Odisha also. I have seen from my past meetings that export means we'll be exporting to Middle East countries, we'll be exporting to Europe, we'll be exporting to US. But trust me, the next big markets are Australia and Vietnam. Simple. Second one is cultivation of rice in cycles for international market. The farmer and the buyer who is buying the rice from the farmers in Odisha, they should make a plan what kind of rice should be cultivated, including for domestic consumption, not harming the soil, and those can be sold in international market. Speaking of the demand. Third point is quality check. Now, international standards for Australia is very tough, especially for rice, honey, and all. Now they have become easy, but they take the best quality rice. So that needs to be done. Once we maintain that quality of rice, here the demand is huge. And the fourth point is good packaging and marketing. So any rice with good packaging, especially good packaging, which is biodegradable material in paper or in biodegradable or recycled plastic, is a instant hit outside. So that we can look up to. I think somebody has unmuted. Please mute it. So I'll go to the next slide. Understanding the market. Now this is the biggest.
Sunil Abu ଟିକେ mute କରିଦିଅନ୍ତୁ.
Okay, thank you. So Maconsus will help everyone understand the market. So especially going and for Australia and Vietnam, we'll be focusing today. Market trends for Australia. As everybody knows, or if you don't know, India and Australia have signed the free trade agreement where 96% of the products from Australia to India and India to Australia are tax-free now. This has been legally signed. The discussion happened 6 to 8 months ago. Now it has been signed. So anything can be done. So how much is the import of rice from India to Australia or from the entire world to Australia? I'm telling you. Top trading partners import of rice of Australia in 2021. 2022 data is yet to be out. It will be out in February and March. So I'm focusing on 21. So Thailand was the first, has the first place. Like the most of the rice has been imported from Thailand with a percentage of 29%, 58 million USD. Second place is India with 57 million. So you can say Thailand and India are tied. We are the number one exporter of rice from our country to Australia. Now, how we can be number one? there are different things we can discuss it upon. And Vietnam is the third country. They export 14.1%, 28 million USD of rice to Australia. So Australian rice market is also huge. Their population is increasing, especially the local crowd and the Asian crowd. So they are on the huge market. Now, coming back to the point, if India is tied or India is in second place with 28%, 57 million USD, what is this share of Odisha? How many million USD of rice is being exported from Odisha to Australia? If anybody has the answer, can give me in here, because I know this figure is really small. Now you can see what is the potential of Odisha. Odisha is the 8th largest rice manufacturing state in India. We have immense potential. We can be number one, we can be number two. West Bengal being our neighbor, they are number one. Odisha being number two, the weather is same, everything is same. We also have our coastline. So why can't Odisha be number one first, and why can't Odisha export most of their rice to Australia? So that's my question to the forum. Okay. Next slide I'm going. If we are doing a trend analysis for what Australia is consuming, 2021 rice export to Australia in USD has been 200 million. So 2021 rice export by India to Australia has been 57 million. So India's potential valuation in 2023, why I am saying it will be 75 million, is because Australia is also importing rice from China and Pakistan, but considering their economic position, they are not going to export rice in the next 2 years. So India has a chance to make it 75 million, that is 616 crore INR. These are assumptions, but it can be nearby that. When 2023 ends, you can refer to this slide and the real figures. Now, Odisha's potential. If Odisha is the 8th largest rice producing state in India, let's suppose Odisha has 15% of that share. We can work for that. That is 12 million USD. That is 100 crore. If everything goes fine, if good rules and regulations, if the effort has been put, by the end of 2023 fiscal year, in Orissa can export 100 crore worth of rice from Orissa to Australia. I'm really confident about it. So these are the trends that I've shown up here in the graph, and that I have just mentioned it here. So it is a simple, very simple thing that the demand is there, just the connection needs to happen, and Maconsys can help in that connection. Now shifting our focus to Vietnam. So Vietnam and India are also planning to boost their trade. Previously, a lot of products like coffee, tea was getting exchanged, but then some issues happened, ginger, pepper, a lot of things. But now everything, the gates are opening up, because Vietnam needs India's expertise. India needs Vietnam's raw material. Simple. Now the question about rice is, where does Vietnam import its rice from? Vietnam imports rice from India, especially basmati rice, 82% of its rice. That is 40 million USD. Now, if that is the thing, Vietnam also imports broken rice from India. Now, my question is, how much USD, how much million USD, or how many thousand of USD or crores of rupees of rice are getting exported from Orissa to Vietnam, be it basmati rice, be it broken rice, or anything? So that is something we should look forward to. And because I have been to Vietnam many times, I'm staying in Australia, I'm staying in US, but I've been to Vietnam. It's like my second home. There is immense potential. The population is growing, and the transportation logistics between Orissa and Vietnam will be too easy. It will be through the Malacca Strait in Malaysia. It will be too easy. And especially when our consulate general in Vietnam from India is Mr. Dr. Sethi, Honorable Dr. Sethi. He is from Orissa, so his support is also there. So it's just that we need to connect the dots. Now the trend analysis of Australia and Vietnam. Now everybody ask me, or maybe at the end when the question answer session starts, they'll be asking me, how can we connect to the buyers in Vietnam or buyers in Australia? I'm giving a simple example of basmati rice. In Australia, for FY 2022, There are 599 buyers in Australia and the suppliers are 353 all over India. Now, how many suppliers are from Odisha? My question is to the forum. If there is nobody, then we have to work so that out of 353, at least 20 to 30 suppliers should be from Odisha. Same thing with Vietnam. There are 192 buyers in Vietnam for basmati rice. 192 companies or 192 wholesale people. Who are the suppliers? 123 suppliers. Out of 123 suppliers, at least there could be 10 suppliers from Odisha to Vietnam. And I can guarantee if that happens, if people come forward, the business can happen. We have all these things lined up. Communication will happen, rule regulation will happen, everything will happen. The government will help in. There will be subsidies, there will be a lot of things. And Vietnam and Australia are all ready for trade with India and especially Orissa. I know. So my questions from this entire presentation is, how many shipments are from Orissa? We have to figure this out, that if there is no shipment, if there is very less shipment, we have to make more shipments, because the import shipments is 18,000, import shipments is only 1400 to Vietnam. We can make it 2000. The next 600 could be from Orissa. Now suppliers from Orissa interested for rice export to Australia and Vietnam, are they interested or no? If they're interested, very good. If they're not interested, why they are not? If they need more information, we can give them more information. In the same way, we can organize some industry visits from India or from Odisha to Vietnam and Australia so that they understand the market. They meet the people, the recognized people there who belongs to the rice industry, and then they can collaborate. So we'll help in association with all these government organizations. We can help. Now, government initiatives by FIEO and other organizations are in place. Please connect with Kamalji and their team. They are very good people. 24/7 I have seen Kamalji helping people from the last 5-6 years. I have seen him. So feel free to ask him any question. He's there to guide you. There will be no roadblocks from that side. So this is what I wanted to show up here, that there is immense potential where people and business from other states in India, we are happy we're doing that. But I want business people from Orissa to excel in this also, especially when we are experts in growing rice. We eat rice, we eat pokhara, we eat everything. Today in Australia, I have ate red rice pokhara. Nali bhatara pokhara kali ratire heitala botura hela aji sakale mu khaichi. So pokhara is very good for health. Very good for health. It has that natural iron and everything. So if we know how to do that, you can promote rice. Why are you not exporting? So that's my question. And the target audience for all these things is connect buyer with seller. That is what Maconsys has been doing, will do. Maconsys focuses on technology and information exchange. What best can be done for immediate export, including safeguarding the quality of rice while they are exported and the storage of rice in Vietnam and Australia. Promote all players. Let it be a big player or small player. We are ready to promote them in Australia and Vietnam. That we have been doing. Industry visit to Vietnam and Australia, Maconsys is always open. If anybody wants to come visit these countries, speak to the people, understand the market and business, we are ready to help. And promote Odisha and Make in India. So Maconsys, the company started with the vision of promoting Orissa and Indian products outside, be it in the Make in Odisha forum, or be it in the Make in India forum. I have been part of most of these things, and I am proud from Maconsys side that we have been doing that and we will be doing that. So with that, I'm ending my presentation. Maybe at the end of this forum, there will be question answer round, and I'll be open to answering any questions if possible. I'll stop the screen sharing, Kamalji. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. So wonderful presentation you have. All time you are a good speaker also, good giving presentations also. Thank you very much. And Mr. Das is there. And I'll request Miss Kate Huen to address us, ma'am, regarding rice exports for Vietnam, and any value addition can be possible, because the rice miller secretary is there. So he'll be very interested to listen from you, ma'am. And over to you, ma'am. Kate, ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. Yes, I'm Kate. I have a specialist in international business and finance. I have a worked for some renowned companies in imports and import department. From what I have seen in the last 10 years, the import of agricultural goods has increased a lot, especially rice. So why rice? Because the rice in Vietnam is not enough for local consumption. So Vietnam is importing all forms of rice, especially from India, because of low price. Yes, and now we have a lot of we have it means that now we have open to for the India is and I personally love India food and biryani rice. Yeah, now Vietnam is a very attractive place for the rice import for the next 10 or 15 years. More businessmen should work to explore this market. And we are always ready to support business from India and welcome anyone who want to do business in here in Vietnam. Thank you.
Miss Kate,
Thank you.
Miss Kate, if you want to add anything also in Vietnamese, you can say. I can translate that to the forum in English. No problem.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Kate ma'am, is there any value addition to the rice in Vietnam? Because Vietnam is best in doing the value addition in the rice and other products like seafood also. Can you give few glimpse on the value addition on rice? Because Vietnam import of too much of rice.
Yeah.
But value addition, what are the products in rice in Vietnam? Because I have seen people are taking rice in a different way. We just want to listen from you.
Yeah, Mr. Su, can you translate for me? It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, hiện tại thì Việt Nam xuất khẩu gạo thì có thể nói là cạnh tranh đối với rất là nhiều nước. Nhưng mà hiện tại thì vì cái nhu cầu sản xuất ở Việt Nam đang tăng cao, vì cái giá cả của gạo ở Ấn Độ thì nó rất là cạnh tranh, nó rất là thấp, thậm chí là nó thấp hơn cả gạo bể ở Việt Nam. Thành ra là chúng tôi luôn luôn có khuyến khích rất là nhiều doanh nghiệp là nên nhập các sản phẩm từ Ấn Độ.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Kate. So what she's saying is like India, Vietnam people also eat a lot of rice. So they take rice in breakfast, in lunch, and also in dinner also. So mostly seafood and rice that they take, that's their food. So not only rice, the byproducts of rice, like rice cake, and they use rice in rice noodles, and also they use rice in making pudding with fish and lot of products. So if you travel to different district of Vietnam, there is a special product which is from rice, but it is different. Like it can be sweet, it can be sour and all, but for different season, like for rainy season, for summer season, they are different. And right now, because the population has grown so much, so the best possible way to consume rice, be it direct consumption of rice or be it byproduct, which can be stored without refrigerator and all, so they can do that. So that technology they are having and they are doing. So the value addition happens like no rice goes to waste. If any rice has gone down in quality, even that can be also used for these byproducts. So Vietnam has been doing that from long time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wonderful, very good. Thank you, Katie ma'am. Thank you. And any more you want to share? Because we want more listen from you. We want more listen from you.
Kate, you can say
Okay.
more. You can say more, and I can translate. That's what Mr. Kamal is saying.
Dạ. Và hiện tại thì luật pháp của chúng tôi là đang mở rộng ra đối với việc nhập khẩu từ Ấn Độ. Nó giống như là cái lãi suất họ cho vay đối với doanh nghiệp cũng sẽ được ưu đãi khi mà nhập khẩu từ những sản phẩm từ Ấn Độ như là gạo hay là mật ong. Cùng theo đó thì chúng tôi đã có những cái sự kiểm soát chặt chẽ về cái việc mà nhập khẩu để mà tránh trường hợp xáo trộn chất lượng gạo. Có nghĩa là sẽ có nhiều người sẽ nhập mà nhiều nguồn gạo khác nhau, nhưng đó là từ Trung Quốc hay là những cái thị trường khác, nhưng mà lại nói đó là từ Ấn Độ. Thì bây giờ là hiện tại chúng tôi đang có mở rộng thêm rất là nhiều cái luật pháp để mà kiểm soát cái việc đó.
Oh, okay. So what she added is not only rice is used as food, it is used as raw material for brewery industry, and also what she is saying is rice is also used not only like in Ho Chi Minh City, which is also called Saigon, but it is also used extensively in every occasion, like in Tet. They make a lot of rice cake, which is coming in January. So the local consumption could not meet the demand. So they were dependent on China for some time, so that the product can be manufactured there and come directly. But in the last 2 years, with Vietnam growing and making their own factories, industries, now people are focusing on making it inside Vietnam, and they're exploring new ways. So what she also added is, if we go to Ho Chi Minh City and we go to different restaurant, so everybody has their own, like many restaurants have their own style of making rice and giving it to customer, especially foreigners, so that they like. So yeah, so that's the potential that they have, and it also helps in more import of rice, because in Vietnam the weather is always like hot or rainy, so more import, more demand. So that's why the business scenario is really good there. Kamalji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Katie. It's a wonderful experience we have with us after a long time, and we're expecting next time we'll be happy to see your presentation over there with lots of products and all, so that our people can understand and they can realize and they can see the pictures what you were saying now. Thank you, Mr. Su and Mr. Kete. And any questions for Mr. Kete? Otherwise, I'll go to the next speaker.
Yeah, hello, sir. I'd like to ask Miss Katie about like what are the certification Vietnam requires like for rice export, like fertilizer level and all about that. I would like to know, sir. Like, is it mandatory to have any certification for the export? Let's say US FDA or like that.
Yeah. So I would like to answer. So different countries has different certifications which needs to be checked. Like in India, the Food Corporation, they issue these certifications. But when it comes to export, I think FIEO and Kamalji would be the best person country wise. If you ask them the data, they will give you the exact certifications which are needed for that quality of rice to have that certificate, so that as an exporter you qualify. Okay, all the checkbox are ticked, and right now you can contact the buyers there and you can export. But the exact certifications that are needed, I think FIEO is the best organization to give you that list, especially for Australia and Vietnam. Yep.
Mr. Sohan, you can do one thing. There is a website is maintained by the FIEO, www.indiantradeportal.com, Indian Trade Portal, where you can get all the information regarding the Vietnam. What are the certification required for the Vietnam side is already mentioned, and what are the benefits you can avail. It's everything is there, but just you have to go through the search and all everything. IndianTradePortal.com. And thank you very much. And before I go to Panigrai sir, Mr. Mahanti will be left because the secretary is visiting Raptani Bhavan. Panigrai sir, I'll just take 5 minutes more from you. That Mr. P.K. Mahanti from the DPM, that export performance, to speak about the district as export hub. Mr. Mahanti, just speak for 5 minutes. I'll just go to Mr. Panigrai sir presentation. P.K. Mahanti sir.
Namaskar. Thank you, Kamal Babu, for organizing such a. Am I audible, Kamal Babu?
Yes, you are audible, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Thanks for conducting such a meeting in the current scenario as a district as export hub. The district as export hub is initiated by Government of India, and it is well taken up by the state government. We have identified the potential product of all the districts. Since today you have kept Mayurbhanj as the district, I can say the district level export promotion committee of Mayurbhanj, they have selected rice as a potential product for export from the district. And we find that one of the exporters, Mr. Singhal Agri Industries Private Limited, they have already started exporting. They have exported rice, particularly to the South African countries like Guyana, around 10 to 12 crores per annum. Their factory is located at Rairangpur, and they are selling rice. That is not the story of one. Since there is a huge production of rice in Mayurbhanj district, there is ample opportunity to export rice from Mayurbhanj to anywhere in the world. Because rice is a food, in the global market, food is now in shortfall. You can export in anywhere. In the agroclimatic of Mayurbhanj is also quite conducive for production of rice. And there are what is the data with us? The Mayurbhanj produces just a minute. That will look at looking after later. But I will tell about the theme of a district as export hub. In order to create districts as an export hub, we have the state government has taken some many initiatives, such as like constitution of a district level export promotion committee. The district level export promotion committee is headed by the collector of the concerned district. Mayurbhanj collector is the chairman of Mayurbhanj district level export promotion committee, and the general manager DIC is the nodal convener and the nodal officer of DLPC. They have identified the product, and they have prepared a action plan how to export the products. In that, Mayurbhanj is a landlocked district. It is not the coastal area of the main hindrance is from Mayurbhanj to you sell it to either to the port of Calcutta and Vizag, because our the state port is not able to take away the containerized goods to anywhere in the global destination. Besides, about relating to the Vietnam export, recently we have sent a delegation state delegation.
sir, upon mute hegala. Mahanti sir, mute hegala.
Since Vietnam, India has invested in Vietnam, and Vietnam also invested in India. India's investment in Vietnam are estimated at around 1.9 billion dollar, and India has 299 valid projects running in Vietnam, ranking 26 among the country and territories investing in Vietnam. Similarly, as of 2020, Vietnam has 6 investment project in India with a total estimated amount of 28.55 million, primarily in the areas of pharmaceutical, IT, chemicals, and building materials. It reveals from the trade report of visit of Odisha delegation to Vietnam, there are ample opportunity of trade of products of Odisha like iron, steel, cotton, seafoods, machines, equipments, cereals including rice, and pharmaceutical products. Seafood, particularly in frozen shrimp, is a major exportable product to Vietnam from Odisha. Vietnam imports frozen shrimps as a raw material to make value added, which cater to the needs of US and UK market. Here I would like to mention that Vietnam, the rice export to Vietnam is a major rice producing country, but Vietnam is importing so many products as a raw material for not for their own requirement. They are importing raw material from different countries and make it value addition, and then they re-export to the entire Europe and USA market. So it is Vietnam is a potential market for the Indian products. So you can export any, whether it is required in Vietnam, but it is a demand of Vietnamese people or not. But they are importing goods mainly as a raw material for sourcing to cater to the need of Europe and USA market. So Vietnam is a potential market for Odisha's buyers. We can promote joint venture with the Vietnam seafood processors. We can hire the process technology from Vietnam to do value addition, manufacturing and processing equipment in steel and aluminum in joint venture in Vietnam industries. We can push to MSME sectors in the state for value addition of steel and aluminum products. There seems to be an opportunity in IT sectors due to the current lack of technology adoption. Vietnam, we can invest IT sector in Vietnam, or we can source software development services to the Vietnam buyers. So that's and mutual business facilitation center is also going to be set up at Odisha and for Vietnam and Odisha. We have a talk with His Excellency Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi. He is the Consul General of Ho Chi Minh City at Vietnam. He is an Odia fellow. So the people of Odisha can take the help of the Consul General. So and he is quite cooperative towards business transaction in Odisha with Vietnam. They have our delegation have meet Vietnam Chamber of Commerce at Ho Chi Minh City, and the members are appreciated the our products. The those are going. Those were included in the delegation. Some of our now they are already started business with Vietnam. Some here is a local micro unit is making brick making machines. He's started his consignment to Vietnam because Vietnam needs a lot of construction materials, construction materials, IT, and education and healthcare. These are the potential area where India firms can make joint venture or doing business with Vietnam. So there is a now there is a shortage of time. I am going to join another meeting with the Principal Secretary MSM department. So this is the story of district as export hub of Mayurbhanj and the India's relation with Vietnam. And I can say Vietnam is a potential country where our friends can export their products and can make joint ventures also. There is a very good facilities, very good opportunity for making joint venture with the Vietnam companies, particularly in IT, food processing, and marine and building materials and company. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kamal Babu. Kamal Babu for organizing such a event. It will be helpful to the entrepreneurs of Odisha in a long way. Not only Vietnam, it will they'll enter into the global market. From local to global, it is our slogan of the Prime Minister. So that's why the district is identified as a district hub. So if the districts are promoted properly, so we can export a lot of, and our export will be manifold in coming futures. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar to all.
Thank you very much for. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Before I coming to SN Pangrai, sir, I request all of you to kindly switch on your video so that we can take a good snap photograph. Somebody टिके खाली ऑन कर देते हम फोटो नहीं जीवो टिके तापरे आपण तापरे हम पाणिग्राही सार करो ये करिया सुनिबा तारे दास सर आपण भी कहबे टिके पाणिग्राही सार कर प्रेजेंटेशन टा टिके देखंतु आपण हां सो चुटी फुटी तो ये कर दोचंती साइज कर दोचंती पाणिग्राही साहब ओके फोटो आपण प्लीज सर नेबे एपटे संजना मैडम विजय महाकुल समस्त टिके प्लीज ऑन कर दियंतु समस्त टिके वीडियो ऑन कर देले सो दैट वी कैन गेट ए गुड फोटो because Kate means there. Mr. Soap, if Kate ma'am like to leave, no problem. Oh, you want to stay, there is no problem. If she want to leave, if he has a work and all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I will request Mr. SN Panigrahi, sir, to give his presentation regarding. I will request all of you, please see the presentation of Mr. Panigrahi. Lots of videos he has uploaded in the YouTube free of cost. Please see. And I request after that, Mr. Das, please, you have to speak to the August gathering. Mr. Das, I know your medical case is there, but still, please see the presentation of Mr. Panigrahi. Thank you. Over to Panigrahi, sir. Sir, Panigrahi, sir. तो बाबू जदि से जीवा चाहिए जाई परिबे ये ना कहि देबे हां नले से था तो देखो तो इंडिया केमते होचे स्पोर्ट
hello sir, so I would like to ask that is there any opportunity for exporting raw rice like that a paddy from India to any country? Is there any opportunity, sir?
So बाबू पैडी हेई परिबो एक्सपोर्ट पैडी मिस्टर सोहन पचार जोदी
I have to check सब प्रोडक्ट हेई परिबो किंतु कोठी की हेई परिबो आ खाली तो हेई गले हबनी प्रॉफिट भी दरकार समस्त जो माने इन्वॉल्व रहउचंती स्पेशली दी फार्मर्स एंड दी सेलर्स तो आई हैव टू चेक एंड मे बी I'll get back to you.
सोहन बाबू आपण टिके देखि देबे आपण को चैट बॉक्स से ताका नंबर नै जे मेल
Kamal, can I speak something?
ଟିକେ ସାର୍ ଖାଲି ପାଣିଗ୍ରାହୀ ସାର୍ ଙ୍କ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟେସନ ସରି
ନାଇଁ
ଯାଉ
ଟିକେ ଖାଲି ସେଇ ଜଷ୍ଟ ଏଇ ରାଇସ୍ ବିଷୟରେ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ କହି ଦଉଛି actually ये the question is put is a valid question. You can for rice export you can take the help of you go to the site of APEDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Processed Export Development Authority. There is a country matrix. What are the rice, the volume of rice and quantum of rice exported to where there is a detailed data in which country are importing rice from India. That the data is available in the APEDA website, and you can make a query in their FAQ so that you can find the bias list of rice from different countries.
Acha. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Panikar sir, over to you.
So,
Panikar sir, over to you.
Namaskar. Able to listen to me?
Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Yes,
Namaskar.
sir.
You're audible, sir. Go
Namaskar,
ahead, sir.
sir. Namaskar.
Yeah, namaskar. Namaskar. So I'm starting my presentation. I thank to FIVO, especially Kamal Bhai. And from the day of starting this 10 days program, I've been associated with FIVO. And these programs are supported by other organizations also, MSME, DIC, and other and OCF also. So this is the first program we have started. The district we have taken as a Sonpur. This is under the scheme of the districts as a export hubs. So first program we have done on the 16th of December, followed by another program we did again on this is the district we have taken is Malkangiri. There we have discussed about the millets, turmeric, and granite slabs. This is the program we have done. Then further another program we have done, that is about we have taken both district and handloom Pattasadi, that was discussed on 30th of December. This was the third program. And last week we did another program that is in Koraput district you have taken. And there we have discussed about the cashew nut, cashew and coffee and ginger we have discussed mainly. So these are the 4 programs we have done. And today is the 5th in the series, because Kamal Bhai has told me that we are going with the 10 programs. And this was the 5th in the series of the programs. So today we are going to discuss about the district as a export hub and Mayurbhanj district. And the products are selected rice. Already rice exports are discussed and told about the rice. So next one is honey we are taking. So let us do some thinking honey. But always I used to tell about the export as a, whenever you are going for an export, then I used to tell about this is my copyright concept. This is available in YouTube also. That YouTube link also I shared to you. And many forums I presented it in NIMSME when I conducted the programs for all over the India, for all the directors and assistant directors and deputy directors of the MSME. There I was drafted the program, and that was a 10 days program we have conducted in Hyderabad almost like 4 years back, when the concept is initiated that time. That time in the 2019, that concept emerged to start a district and export hub with our Prime Minister's vision. On 15th of August of 2019, he was expressed from the Red Port this concept. So then after we are involved, I was one of the person involved in the beginning itself, and training all the DIs and MSME DIs. That time it was DI. So we have trained all these delegates there, the directors, assistant directors, and etc. And I used to talk about these 6 steps for export of products. And first is, of course, starting of the business. And starting of the business, you can start the business either as a means proprietorship, or as a private limited, or you can start as a means public limited or LLP. Then of course you have to build up a image building, that you should have a good brand image. So you can form a company name and some brand and logo. And also very important, sorry. Hello. Yeah. And also very important aspect is about your promotion, because somebody should know from the world that you are existing in this world, that you are into the business, you are doing some business. So therefore, nowadays, any buyer want to know about your credentials, first they verify in the Google search. So you should appear in the Google search that you are a company, you are into the business. So therefore, my advice is start a website, a good website. Therein you can post your company related details as well as the product details with the photographs and other thing. Nicely you can create, so that existence will be there. That is very fundamental for any business, because whoever the buyer, they definitely verify your credentials before they're entering into the deal. So therefore, create certain image, the brand image. Then of course, statutory regulations you have to follow, like taking the PAN number, then the bank account, then your IEC code, means that import and export code from the DGFT. Then of course you have to take the RCMC, registration cum membership certificate, from the concerned export promotion councils. These list also last time many times I've shared. Of course, it's there in my YouTube presentations. You can go through that YouTube presentations and can find who are the export promotion councils. So for the rice, there is a export promotion council, that is in EPIDA is there, and they are the concerned authorities. And honey also today we are talking about, that is also EPIDA is an export promotion council. And that export promotion council, commodity boards, and all these things are list I provided to you in the last time. And also it is available in the YouTube. Then after you have to take a registrations. The GST registration is mandatory whenever you want to export any product. The GST registration is mandatory under section 24 of the CGST Act. So you have to take the registration. And one more thing also mandatory, that's whichever port you are sending the goods, and in that port, then in the customs, you have to register with your authorized AD code, means authorized dealer code, your bank code. So that is essential, because any of the incentives are there, like drawback or any other incentives are there, the export refund, those will be credited to your account. So it is direct credit to your account. So that is a mandatory requirement. You have to get the AD registration. So these are the fundamental things. Then of course you can make the plan how to go about, get trained, because export business is not so easy. Lot of things you have to understand about those terminologies and business tactics, and all these things you have to learn. So therefore you have to get certain knowledge about the export business. So this is the fundamental starting of a business. Then of course, many times you are confronted with about the which product to export. Don't touch everything, that everything you can export, like then it's a myth only. It's not possible. Whichever you are very comfortable, where your acquaintance, where you have a knowledge, where you have an expertise, those product only select. Don't select any product like anything we can export. That is only myth. That is not possible. You will burn your fingers. So don't attempt that. Where your expertise or knowledge or acquaintance, where you are able to source the products competitively, and also all the quality related other certification, other thing you have a knowledge about the product, that product you select. And then of course after the selection, when you are making, also you have to refer whether that particular product is restricted or it is freely exportable or prohibited. That also you have to understand. And then after, the importing country also, whichever the country you are selecting, that importing country also, is there any regulations? Those things you have to understand. Of course, in some other classes I used to tell last time also told about the India portal, India trade portal. I opened and I told you whether it is freely exportable or any restrictions are there. Those details are available in that portal also. Okay. So there you can go and you can search. And then after the competition and other thing also you have to understand the product related specifications. Whatever you're selling in the Indian market, it may not be the same specifications. It may be some different specification in terms of the product quality related or in terms of the packing related. So packing also entirely different from a domestic sales and the export. So these details you have to understand the packing related, other restrictions and the specification of the product. Then of course you have for competitive can source it and consistently with good quality. That is very important. It's not just one time you can source, but consistently you are able to source it and you have a good quality, the acceptable quality. Then only those product you can select. So that is about the product selection. Then of course the export to market, which market to go. Then you have to make little bit of search and a lot of research also you have to do about the product and market mix. And this particular product which you are selected for that, which are the markets, and either export promotion councils or through various websites are there. Last time I shown to you some of the websites. So those things also you can go there and you can make some little bit research and search. And then you can find out what are the potential products to the markets. Like for example, rice we are talking about, Australia is good potential. Like Vietnam also now speakers are talk to you. So that is the potential areas. Like that we have to understand what is the potential. So you have to go to the export promotion councils or the concerned organizations or some portals, some research or website and other Google search you have to do. And then you have to find out which are the products and which are the markets. And again, there you have to go decide whether to go directly with the buyer, means selling to the overseas buyers, or you want to make it through some trading merchant exporters or some traders or some agents or some distributors. My advice, initial stages, don't jump into direct your export unless you are very confident and some good relations are there, then you can do. Otherwise, my advice is go through some agents or the distributors or some merchant exporters or traders. There you can learn one or two transactions. Please, sir, please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Anil sir, Anil Agarwal ji, please mute. Anil ji, please mute. So please keep in mute, not to disturb others. A small request. So many times I used to advise not to jump into direct exports because it many times you may not be knowing the nitty-gritties of the export. First time exporters, I don't advise to jump into direct exports. Do some exports, some transactions, one or two transactions or some transactions through some merchant exporters or through some agents and distributors or some intermediaries. So you know details through them, you will get some experience and what type of packing, what type of transactions, how to make, what type of quality required, all these things, or what type of certifications are required. These things you will understand. Then you can go directly to the export. Anilji again, please mute. Yeah. So that way you have to identify the market. Once your market is identified and you know the product and market, then of course you have to promote your products to that market, that region, that country. Then you have to various means of promotion. Anilji, repeatedly you are doing. Please, sir, please mute it, not to disturb others. And all others are seriously come for certain business and interested people. So let us make good use of the time, because time is again constant. So let us make good use of time. Please click on mute. So once the product and market is identified, And then, of course, you have to contact the buyers, and buyers list and other thing you can get from the export promotion councils or even embassies and our trade promotion organizations, various through embassies and other thing also you can get, or your other contacts, or there are certain websites are there, buyer and seller links they can provide. So you can approach them and you can get the buyer and seller links and some contact details you can get. You can correspond and give your information and other things. So here again, when you are going, be sure that your products list and other thing is very clear with all the specifications, with your packing details and quality and other details must be very clear. Then only it will attract the buyers. So the logo and packing, other brand image, all those things has to be very essential part of this part of the promoting your products. So make this good use of this your website and other thing also, so that you can post, so you can circulate to all the concerned buyers, prospective buyers, and if required you can send the samples. When the sending the samples also, don't make the first sample is very good collection of the good quality, and consistently if you're not able to provide the same quality, don't make such wrong commitments. Many people do for the sampling purpose, they do very good quality, then after the quality is not to that mark, then you will be in a great trouble. It's not like Indian market, and when the goods goes outside the India, and lot of risk is on your head, the payment risk and all the transaction and the related certain time legal risk also there. International legal risks very costly, you can't bear it. So don't do that mistake, and also don't spoil the India image with wrong products. Your image is India image, so don't spoil that India image. And once you're making this correspondences, then various terms and these things you should understand. What are the delivery terms like Incoterms, and what are the payment terms, and what are the quality related certification and other things are required. All these things you have to be very clearly discussed. Then you are enter into an agreement. Unless otherwise you are very sure of providing all these things, don't make any commitment. If you make a commitment and not honored it, not fulfilled it, that is also legal consequences you have to face. So don't touch like these aspects, very critical. In fact, in international trade, these are very critical aspects. So understand all the terms and conditions, then you make a commitment and enter into an agreement. Then as per the payment terms and all thing, either you receive the payments and all thing, then once the order is confirmed, then you have to execute the order. So execute order pre-shipment. If you want any funding requirement from the banking, then you can go for the bank pre-shipment credits, and banks will provide the pre-shipment credit, especially for the MSMEs, with 3% lesser credits, lesser rate they will provide to you. Suppose the bank rate is 12%, you will get the 12% minus 3%. So 3% concession you are getting. And various other provisions also there for the import of any raw materials or consumables, packing materials. For that also import authorizations you can get from the DGFT. So those are the provisions. Once the materials you are manufacturing or sourcing, then with all the quality requirements and the certification requirement, be ready. Then you engage the customs house agent or the CHS or the customs brokers and forwarders for the shipping and other formality, port and customs formality you have to complete. Then once the customs clearance is over, get proper documents. After the let export order has been released from the customs, then you have to get the either BL or airway bill, means from air means airway bill. You have to get the certain export documents. Then for realization of your payments now. First thing, as a customary requirement, you have to send all the details about your shipment. Once you made the shipment, that shipment details, the copies you have to intimate to the customer that you have made the shipment. Then the document has to be negotiated in the bank for the realization of your payments. Then after other formalities of the post export formalities you have to complete. So this is how the export transactions happens. For each of the export transaction, once it happens, you have to get certain experience. Every transaction is an experience. Some good experience, some bad experience, all those things are lessons learned for us. For the improving, for the future, our exports, we have to learn, and then we have to accordingly modify and improve our transactions. So this is how I used to tell about the 6 steps to go for the exports. Now, sir, please mute, sir. Please mute. Now let us go for the honey, especially for the honey exports. So just a minute, I will go make this a honey export. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Honey export is because it is a good potential now for exporting honey, especially to US. Earlier, the US market is mostly dominated by the China, and the US then after put lot of restrictions on Chinese exports. Then that space is vacuum where the India is filling up. So if you see the last few years, the Indian export to US is tremendously increased. So please mute, sir. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Kamal bhai, please ask the people to mute, otherwise the admin can mute all others except the speaker.
Oh, okay.
So the sweet revolution, that is what our honorable Prime Minister, he was calling about the sweet revolution in one of his Man Ki Baat. And every month, of course, Prime Minister is talking about Man Ki Baat. And in one of the Man Ki Baat, he was talking about the sweet revolution. He is talking about the honey, and is very good potential to export and also create the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And it is like a village level business. It is at the village level business. So a lot of potential is there. The villages can prosper, and country as a whole also, the foreign exchange will be there. So the country will prosper. So therefore, the government of India has approved an allocation of the 500 crores for the National Beekeeping and Honey Mission for 3 years, 2021 to 22-23. Okay, this was announced. 500 crores was announced. Okay, and APIDA is mostly involved in this business, these activities. So APIDA is assisting the export, means or identifying the export potential at each of the district levels and village levels, and try to engage with them in terms of the quality certification, testing, then helping hand, providing them to know about the buyers and the sellers. So like this, they are making the provision of this means promoting the honey exports. And mainly honey exports, various other requirements, which of the country you're sending, their quality certifications are very essential. The quality certification, and recently, especially in European countries and other countries, they are going with a higher level of quality testing certifications, like nuclear magnetic resonance test. Nuclear magnetic resonance test is very costly testing procedure, and this talks about adulteration and impurities. And many of the Indian honey is failing in the test. And sometime back, the reports have come, even Dabur also failed, even Patanjali also failed in this test. So this is very high level of testing and very high level of purity testing that call about. So therefore, we should be very careful about the quality of the material. Okay, India has blessed with lot of geographical locations where the honey is possible to produce. The harvesting of the honey is possible. Okay, And if you see the country wise, the New Zealand is the largest, means world's largest exporter of the honey, natural honey. Their share is 12.2%, followed by China is a 8.6% share. Then Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Ukraine. Then now it comes the seventh position is about the India. This is the figures of 2021. Of course, 2022 is not available. That will be in next few months. It will be made available, but is for the 2021. Now in this period, lot of geographical and other situations or demographic situations are changed, especially with Ukraine. Ukraine is now in a Russia and Ukraine war. So the Ukraine exports are drastically fallen and they are in a great crisis. Brazil, again, internal disturbances are there, civilian wars are going on. So these two countries' exports also may affect. China is already known, the COVID and other things, lockdown and other situations are continuing. So therefore, India has a good opportunity to grow the export from the India. We have at present 5.1% of the global our trade for the honey, and we have gone up last year. If you see, 63.8% growth we have established. In respect to 2020, 2021, we have registered 63.8% growth. So this indicates a lot of potential, but of course our exports are mostly concentrated with only one country, that is about the US. If you see the export from India, US is the largest exporter, means importer from India. USA is the largest importer from India for honey, and followed by UAE, then Saudi Arabia, Nepal, Morocco, Bangladesh, Qatar, like this. These are the countries. But if we see one country dominating more, that is US. 80% of the, almost like 80% of our Indian exports are going to the one country, that is USA. So depending on one country is again a dangerous situation, because earlier also China is, most of the exports from the China happening to the US. But US made certain restrictions about the Chinese imports. So therefore that space is occupied by the India. But one country dependency is very dangerous in future also. So we had to diversify into various other countries also. Okay. Otherwise, we have very less contribution to the India, means exports, means 80% only to the US, only just other countries only 20%. So that is not a good situation. So we have to diversify our exports to other countries also. Okay. And this is how our export chart. US is dominating almost 80%, followed by Saudi and UAE, Bangladesh, Canada. These very smaller figures. And export benefits, I'll tell you. For export benefits, of course, if you go for the export promotion, this policy, export policy, that is the foreign trade policy. The honey is permitted freely. There is no restrictions. There is no prohibition. So we can export without any restrictions. The drawback is one of the export like incentive or the benefit. That is, drawback is allowed 0.15% of the FOB value. And ROTAP scheme that was introduced from the 2020. So it is 0.5% of the FOB value you can get ROTAP. And this apart, the transport and marketing assistance that I will show in this next slide, that is also given provision, because whenever we are exporting, we have a disadvantage of the sea and other port, this transportation disadvantages that there. We have the logistic cost is very high for India. The logistic cost of Indian exports is around 14% of the GDP. So that is very high level compared to other countries. Even world average, if you take also, it is around 8 to 9%. But our cost of logistics is 14%. Export logistics, I'm talking. So therefore, Government of India provided this scheme, this TMA for agricultural products. And luckily, honey also covered under the agriculture product. So we are getting the certain advantage, some means reimbursement of the certain cost. Okay. So TMA is one of the that benefit. Then sometime back, I told interest subvention for pre and post shipment in a credit, the rupee credits. We are getting 3% lesser rate if it's MSME and their registered Udyam registration is there, then we will get a 3% lesser interest rate from the bank for our pre-shipment and post-shipment the credits. Okay. And if you want to make the payment of the means export on payment of duty, I mean tax, that is IGST, then it will be 5%. It will be 5%. Okay. Those products are packed. Of course, export then naturally has to be packed and all thing. So it is taken as a 5%. Okay. So this is about the export related benefit. The TMA, as I talking to you, the transport and marketing assistance, we call it. So the different regions in the worldwide, for example, you are sending to the US. US covers under the North America, this zone, this region, and one container load of 20 feet container, suppose you are sending, then you will get this much of the TMA. This is you get as a refund, like this much you get as a refund, 1 feet container. If you are taking the refrigerated containers, then you will get to 43,050 rupees you will get as a for one container refrigerated 20 feet container. Okay. If any 40 feet, you simply multiply with 2. So it will double it. So it will reach. Okay. So this is how the TMA assistance also given by the government of India. You can take the advantage of these provisions, these export related benefits. Then only your product will be competitive. If you take in all the benefits, then only you are competitive. Otherwise, you can't establish your competitiveness in the international market. Not only from India, there is many other exporters are there, but from the, all of the other countries also, many countries are exporting to the same importing country. So therefore, you should be very competitive, taking into consideration all the export benefits and the incentives. Calculation of these things you have to put into, then only you make the pricing calculations. Okay, then you will be very competitive. Then these are the some of the types of means some of the exporters. They are doing the reputed exporters. Some of the list of it. Many other exporters also there, but these are some of the reputed exporters. And these are the some of the varieties we are doing. Honey is a different varieties. Every region and every place that honey taste is different. It is not like uniform across all places. The same honey is not like same. Different places and different means cultivation. It has a different taste, different characteristics also. So therefore, these are the some of the varieties of the honey, natural honey. And this, if you see, the honey, most of the regions is the northeast, and Maharashtra is mostly they are making this honey. Production is there. But if you take the productivity wise, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, then Punjab, West Bengal, Bihar, Kerala, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Uttaranchal, these are the regions where the high productivity is there. But Odisha, there is a medium type of productivity, that is a medium range productivity. Odisha, Kashmir, and Maharashtra, Gujarat, these are the medium type of productivity. Okay. And again, Manipur and Mizoram, like northeastern states, if you take, that is very low level of productivity, low volume producers are there. Okay. Most of the exports are happening for the honey is from the Tughlakabad, that ICD, near to that is in Delhi. So Delhi is mostly exporting state from India, and most of the production is happening from Maharashtra. Maharashtra, a lot of production is happening, but exporting is happening from the Delhi. And for the standards, if you see, because this is the food item, lot of restrictions, lot of standards are there. Some of the international standards and Indian standards, like FSA is Indian standard, and the US FDA is US standard. Then EU related, this codex is very popularly been people are using as a codex standard. Codex is international standard. Many people are following the codex standard. Okay. Then SASO and BIS, these are some of the standards are there. Of course, you have to comply with these standards, then only your products will be more competitive. Okay. And these are some of the challenges. Major challenge is about the product quality and the technology we are using. Of course, we are not updating because it is a village level, like a small level, and small farmers like that, they are producing these things, but not in a very large scale. So many places we are not adopting the technology. Though we are means cultivating, but we are not making the good use of the technology because of the volumes and scale. That is one of the biggest challenge. The second is about the alteration, means purity about. Many people, they're mixing up some of the other like Chinese sugar alteration is one of the very popular. It looks like almost like honey only. The taste wise, the viscosity wise, and other things, it looks like honey only, but it is not honey. So many people are mixing these things. So that is one of the challenge we are facing. That is about the quality. And about the infrastructure, of course, very dangerously we are facing that infrastructure related challenges. Many of these products, for example, Mayurbhanj we are taking. From the Mayurbhanj, the transportation and logistics, for the export logistics I'm talking about, is no much of the facilities are there. In fact, no facilities at all, like I can tell. In Odisha itself, we don't have a good port for the export of the containerized cargo. Paradip port is there, but that is mostly about the bulk containers, bulk type of vessels, the chartered vessels, but not for the containerized cargoes. That transportation is not happening. The shipping is not happening. So we are always depending on either Visakhapatnam or towards the north side, this Calcutta port. So this is how we are depending on this. And Visakhapatnam port also not a good port for the containerized cargo. That is also mostly about the bulk cargoes only, but not much of the containerized cargo. So many times I have seen for the Odisha, we are sending to the either long distance like Chennai or to Mumbai, JNPT port. So that is the biggest challenge we are facing. So that is the infrastructure related difficulties. As a result, our products are not become competitive. We are facing that challenge, that difficulty. And quality, as already I told you, quality certification and I think the testing facilities also not available in Odisha. So that need to be established, so that for the testing we need not rush to the longer distances. And it is also cost, and it is also takes much of the time. So therefore, these are the major challenges of the honey export. And as I told you, National Beekeeping and Honey Mission at 2020, they have provided 500 crores provision, and many of the departments are involved closely with this promotion of these things. Honeybee, that National Bee Board is also there. National Bee Board, NBB, that is also there. And APD, of course, for the exports, they are pushing up. And many of the MSMEs at the MSME levels also, they are promoting this scheme. So still, of course, major difficulties are there. Those has to be addressed. So this is how some of the government efforts, that mission they have established, and APIDA is involved in the exports, and many other organizations also at the state and district levels, they are involved for the promoting of the export from the from India for the honey. So these are the basics. Then I will close this session. So this is the just I want to share about the honey export. So over to Mr. Kamal. Kamalji, very thank to you and providing me this opportunity. And this is the 5th such opportunity I got in the series of these 10 sessions we are proposing. And thanks to you, every time we are talking about one district and then one product or two products we are picking up, like we are discussing. Sometime back we are discussing about the millet also in agriculture products. And this time we have discussed these products. So good. So over to you, Mr. Kamalji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, can you do the stop sharing, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much, Panigrahi, sir. As usual, sir, you have enlightened a lot, and I'll not take much more time, and I'll request Mr. Das, Secretary Association, and over to you, Mr. Das. Then we'll go for the interaction with Panigrahi, sir, and then we'll go for the GM Mayurbhanj. Then we'll go for the interaction. Mr. Das, over to you.
Thank you, Kamalji, and good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead, Mr. Das.
Okay. It is always delighted for us to join in such a forum, particularly conducted by FIO. It is our main aim to start export rice from our state. I myself, Lakshminarayan Deepak Ranjan Das, General Secretary, All Odisha Rice Miller Association, and I am very grateful that you have chosen rice as a product to export from Mayurbhanj district. And Mayurbhanj is also very potential in rice, and the number of millers are also today, a few millers have also joined in this forum also. And already this department has told that one of our colleague has started export from the Mayurbhanj, Mr. Singhal Agri. And I don't have so much of time. So recently we had a discussion with Mr. Suv to make a delegate visit to Vietnam for the export purpose of rice and what is the potential there also. So I had a discussion with my colleagues in our forum association, and they have also decided to make the trip with the few Kamalji, and actually I am my visiting time to the hospital ICU is 4:30 to 5. So that's why I have in my car and I'm waiting to visit my mother. My mother is in the very crucial time she is going on. So I'll not take much more time. So again, all the cooperation from miller side, because Odisha is a state where paddy is surplus. We have also abundant milling capacity also. So not only Mayurbhanj, throughout the state, we can start export also. It is a very potential product and surplus product we have. And recently, for your information, Kamalji, we are going to start export from the Dhamra port. Already the material has been, some of the millers have delivered there at the port. We are not doing directly, just we are going to some buyers. And hope very soon, after 1 or 2 consignment, we'll start doing export directly. And Mr. Panigrai is has given a very good session. And because of my hurry and jolliness, I will not be there to participate in the question answer. I will take help of Kamaljeet sir or Subh sir and Mr. Panigrai to take our association to such a level that Odisha will be the number 1 in the export in terms of export of rice. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Das. Mr. Das, mother is hospitalized, so he is on the way to hospital because their timing is 4:30 to 5:30, and Mr. Das is very enthusiastic person, and he really want to do something for the states and as usual for their rice millers associations. And thank you very much, Mr. Das. We'll keep in touch, Mr. Panigrai. I request Panigrai sir to keep a session with your rice miller association, particularly for this and for the value addition also. And we will be discussing later on. So talking to Mr. Su also, and we may take the help of Miss Katie also. Okay, thank you, Mr. Das.
Thank you. I'm just leaving, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Das. Take care.
Thank you. Before I go for the interaction, I request Mr. Singh sir from the GMDIC Mayurbhanj. Singh sir, achanti Mayurbhanj? Singh sir, Mayurbhanj achanti? Singh sir, Mayurbhanj. Wait करते बोले ना डॉक्टर नायक MSME DFO अदरवाइज हम इंटरेक्शन करिवा ठीक है हमें any questions for Panigrai sir or Mr. Suf or Miss Katie, any questions for her? जदि किसी क्वेश्चन अछि प्लीज आपण टिके पचारंतु एनी क्वेश्चंस अदरवाइज आमे पुनी वाइंड अप करबा आ जो माने नुआ ये क्वेश्चन चैट बॉक्स रे प्लीज आपण
सर गोटे मिनिट
सर गोटे मिनिट सर सर आप जो माने नुआ आछंती प्लीज आपन चैट बॉक्स रे आपण टिके आपण ना आपन ना कंपनी ना आ मोबाइल नंबर दे देले सो दैट कोन हमें नेक्स्ट टाइम आपन को जो मीटिंग हो व्हाट्सएप हो ये तो 27 28 रे गोटे फिजिकल व्हाट्सएप सेमिनार होची गवर्नर भी आछंती आपण जॉइन करेंगे तेणु सॉरी आप मोबाइल नंबर कंपनी ना और नाटा प्लीज आप दे दिंतु विल कीप इट आवर डाटाबेस हाँ सर सर पचारू सर पचारू
मिनिट
गो अहेड सर
सुसमकर टिके ईमेल एवं टेलीफोन नंबर टिके देबे सर माने चैट बॉक्स रे so that I can communicate. Hello.
hello. So yeah, मु already chat
Not
box
audio.
रे post करी छि मु एबे पे post करी दउ छि.
That would be great.
Email ID, website or WhatsApp. Thank you.
हाँ.
Any questions? Otherwise, we'll wind up. Next Friday भी अच्छी मीटिंग अच्छी चेष्टा कर Friday नॉले next Friday होगा this Friday or next Friday we'll try. Let me see the engagement. Mr. Suf, today close and you can give the vote of thanks.
Hello.
Any question? Last time announce कर दिया तो questions अच्छी otherwise हमें ये कर पाएंगे sir. पचारंतु माने जदी शुभ बाबू जदी किछि एनी क्वेश्चन जदी अछि पचारन और
any questions or we can take it offline.
अच्छा नायक सर
somebody
नायक सर अछन कि नायक
somebody
सर डॉक्टर नायक बोधे एमएसएम फोरु डॉक्टर नायक अछन कि एमएसएम डीएफ रो अपन प्रेजेंटेशन भी अछि
ना सर मु एक्चुअली जने न्यू जॉइनर. हेलो.
अच्छा हाँ सो ओवर टू शुभ सर.
Yeah, JP Kouthile, so new joiner. So please, if you have any questions, let us know.
हाँ sir. Actually, I am Himanshu Sekhar Mahanta from Karanjia. I am a CEO of Bamanbir Farmer Producer Company Limited.
Okay.
Yes, my question is actually I am doing business in honey sector. So I want to know how to export from our product to other countries and what is the opportunity.
Yeah. So like Mr. S.N. Panigrahi sir explained, the biggest market is still US.
Yes.
Along with that, the Middle East market is there. So
Okay.
first thing, understand the rules. Second thing,
Yes.
what are the certifications or certificate needed? Third thing, quality. Fourth
Yes.
thing, any questions, contact Kamalji on FIO or Mr. S.N. Panigrahi. So I
Yes.
think these 5 steps are more than enough. Make for yourself a document. If you have all the answers to your questions, you can proceed, I think. So he has given Mr. Panigrahi has given a very good presentation. I think most of the details are there. So please connect with him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any more questions, or Kamalji, we can close. Our contact details are already in the chat.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Who is this?
This is Kaustuva Sao from Kaustuva Exports. My question is to SN sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. Go on.
Please go on.
Sir, ଯେମିତି କି ଆମେ ଜାଣିଲେ American country ପାଇଁ ଆମର FDA ରହିଲା, Europe country ପାଇଁ GMP ରହିଲା, and Gulf countries ପାଇଁ halal certificate ରହିଲା. तो अलग कंट्री आमे जदि किछि देखुचंती तो ता पई किछि सर्टिफिकेट नीड रहूची कि नाही?
सब कंट्री रे गुड ना कोन का सर्टिफिकेट अछि.
आज्ञा.
Especially the food items, or mostly of the countries, they have some their own regulations. India रो आम पठेला बेलकु भी आमर country रो भी regulation अच्छी FSSAI certification required से FSSAI certification नेबार अच्छी तापर importing country specific to the country to country जो country कहले मु कहिबी से अनुसार न टच हंतु मो संगरे later also anytime you have my number or Kamal Sahu can give you my number so तांग पाखर number टा नहीं कि
ଆଜ୍ଞା
contact करंतु मु कहिबी
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir
ମାନେ ଭିନ୍ନ ଭିନ୍ନ country ର ଭିନ୍ନ ଭିନ୍ନ certifications ଦରକାର for
ଆଜ୍ଞା
example Kenya କୁ ପଠେଇବେ apart
ଆଜ୍ଞା
from the quality certificate there is another certificate like required certificates of conformity.
okay
So most of the African countries that is the requirement certificate of conformity COC we call it. So from the specific agencies only you have to get like SGS,
okay
Veritas, like that you have to get some specific certificates apart from the quality certificates. So like this, many countries have different certification requirements, different regulations. So country to country, you have to discuss about. So whenever you have any such opportunity, please contact with us. So I will provide the contact, I mean, the complete details about the country-wise, what are the requirements.
sure sir so
Good.
thank you sir
Thank you. But what export at present you are doing or proposed to do?
sir
ଆପଣ କଣ ଏବେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କଣ ଏକ୍ସପୋର୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଏକ୍ସପୋର୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି
sir ମୋର ଏବେ RCMC ସରିଛି ମାନେ ମୁଁ RCMC ନେଇ
ସେଟା ଛାଡନ୍ତୁ ସେଟା ତ ଷ୍ଟାଟ୍ୟୁଟରୀ ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଅନୁସାରେ ଆପଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କିନ୍ତୁ ଆପଣ କୋ ପ୍ରୋଡକ୍ଟ ଆପଣ କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଅଛି କୋ ପ୍ରୋଡକ୍ଟ ଆପଣ ଭଲ ଭାବରେ ସୋର୍ସିଂ କରିକି ଆମେ ଇଏ କରିପାରିବେ ଭଲ
ସ୍କଲ୍ପଚର ଉପରେ ଭଲ ସୋର୍ସିଂ ଅଛି
ହଁ ହଁ ହଁ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସୋ ଆଗରୁ କାହାକୁ ଏକ୍ସପୋର୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ନହେଲେ ଡୋମେଷ୍ଟିକ କାହାକୁ କଣ
ଡୋମେଷ୍ଟିକ ରେ
ବିଜନେସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଡୋମେଷ୍ଟିକ ରେ ଚାଲିଛି ତାପରେ ଏକ୍ସପୋର୍ଟ ପ୍ଲାନିଂ ଚାଲିଛି ଏବେ
ଓକେ 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 ସୋ जो प्रोडक्ट रे आपण भलो कॉन्फिडेंस अछि से प्रोडक्ट सिलेक्ट करंतु
ଆଜ୍ଞା
otherwise जो export market is not so easy so
Sir.
unnecessarily you burn your fingers so जोतरे आपण कॉन्फिडेंस अछि भलो बारे प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी आ अन्य पैकिंग आ ये सब करिकि कंसिस्टेंटली आपण जे करि परिवे से
Sir.
प्रोडक्ट सिलेक्ट करंतु
सर
हो ठीक
थैंक यू सर
ओके थैंक यू
I think Kamalji, we are good to close.
Sir, one question here, sir. This is Jai Kishan Saha.
Yeah.
Sir, regarding the honey, I am from Mayurbhanj. So can we have some industrial visits regarding how the processing of sourcing till processing and final outcome, some industrial exposure visits required regarding honey?
Yeah, we can definitely conduct that. Please connect with me from like I've given my contact details. So for industry visits within India, I think SN Panigray sir can help, but outside India for Vietnam and Australia, especially I can help. So let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, sir. This is Uttam. So we are interested in exporting through our agency black rice, red rice, and brown rice to Australia last time. But because of this Ukraine war, it was postponed. So we can export, we can export tons of black rice, then red rice and brown rice, sir. So I will contact directly to you or I will contact to the agency.
You can contact me directly. I've given my details in the chat, and let's see who last time you wanted to connect with, who were the buyers, and what is the quantity, packaging, and everything, and the brand management that you have done. Especially, we can see the market right now because of less supply from China. The demand is huge, and the free trade agreement has come in for between India and Australia. So you will be in an advantageous position. So connect with me. Let's discuss about each point on this, and then we can proceed.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Kamalji, let's wrap up.
last time we had
Digital
planned
con
for.
calls.
Pardon, sir?
No. Any questions, anybody, or we can close the meeting?
We can close the meeting if there is no question.
Yeah. Okay. So, Kamalji, all good from my side. So thank you everyone, and thank you Miss Kate for joining on this short notice. Thank you Mr. Panigrai and everybody, Mr. Das, Mr. Mishra, and Kamalji especially, because Kamalji has been a champion in promoting everything from Odisha. So thank you Kamalji, and we look forward for the next discussion, and we look forward in helping any of our businessmen from Odisha for exports in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, and we must thank you to Miss Katie and for his patience. So nicely he is sitting patiently. We must learn from her.
Yeah. So Miss Kate, I have worked with her in certain projects. She has a lot of patience. She is very understanding and mature, and she leads a team of people, and everybody likes her. So yeah, thank you, Miss Kate.
Thank you, Katie ma'am. Thank you. Namaskar.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.